Quiet moments of life, we often find our strength. But for me, these moments were once clouded by despair and loneliness. I'm here today during Suicide Prevention Month to break the silence, to share my own story, and to offer hope and resources to those in need. I'll read out my. To understand the magnitude of the problem, let's first look at the numbers. Behind these statistics are real people, real stories.
More men than women die by suicide. However, more women than men think of committing suicide.
I knew I didn't want to actually live that day. I knew I did not want to tuck myself in bed that night. I knew that was gonna be the end for me. And I remember picking my phone at around 11 a.m. and deciding between getting the pills together and writing the suicidal note, or actually foregoing the suicidal note and just living, because I didn't think I was worthy of my existence, of my life, of the love and care that I couldn't see then but was present in my life. I've had moments after to think of how things would have gone if I'd actually gone through with the plan. How would life have been? Where would my son be? How would my friends take it?
I see it coming, I'd say no. However, looking back at the conversations we used to have leading to the attempt, I think I should have done better to pick some of the subtle comments and statements that could have been interpreted only a particular way, that my friend was planning something.
How would my family live without me? I know they would, but deciding to actually author the suicidal note that I actually did.
It was on a Saturday and I was asleep and my phone was on flight mode. So my friend had only sent one suicide note to me on WhatsApp.
My best friend back then, I told him, you know what? I've really tried and I can't see any future for me. There's no hope for me whatsoever. I sent it via WhatsApp and he was online, so I thought he had seen it. I remember giving him just 30 seconds to respond and he didn't.
So when I woke up, I was like, okay, wait a minute. So I remember I completely woke up and just started making a couple of calls to.
And I was like, oh my god, this guy thinks I'm kidding. This guy thinks I'll not go through with the plan. Or something. Got the medicines that I overdosed. 150 tablets.
Luckily, a friend of hers was still around and was able to rush to her place and made it on time and took her to the hospital. What kept running on through my mind was, what if I hadn't seen that note on time? What would have happened? But to date, I'm always grateful to the miracle that happened on that particular day that I managed to wake up on time and see that particular note, and you were able to get help. How did I support my friend? Regrettably, I think I can be quite insensitive at times, and I make some comments that now looking back, I think that I shouldn't have made them to my friend who was dealing with something. I think this is something I could have done better. However, after the ordeal, I tried as much as possible to be there for my friend.
I lived by myself at time. I had a neighbor, but for the most part, I lived by myself. And I remember it being clearly in my mind. The headlines: a 24-year-old woman found dead in her apartment. But still, it didn't stop me. I was so broken, I was so shattered. My life looked hopeless. My dreams they were a joke.
Attempted suicide include weapons, overdosage of drugs.
And so I got the medicines that I overdosed, 150 tablets.
Some of the factors that contribute to suicide include mental health conditions like depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, amongst others. Other psychological factors include hopelessness, helplessness, feeling like you're not of purpose here, purposelessness, if we can call it. Stressful life events that feel unbearable, like job loss, financial difficulties, relationship issues, as well as just easy access to lethal means of killing oneself, so say firearms, medications, and such. Some of the warning signs we can look out for within ourselves and our loved ones include talking or posting about wanting to die, trying to look for ways to kill oneself, feeling of hopelessness or helplessness. Additionally, increased substance abuse, increased anxiety, overwhelming sadness, or depression, if we may call it, just to mention a few. Some of the ways we can prevent and manage suicide incidences include mental health support. With that, ongoing mental health support programs or education to destigmatize mental health. I love the progress you've made with that, but just more of that, and also including more inclusive and affordable mental health support. Having a community around you, friends, social networks, sharing and exercising vulnerability in those spaces, letting people know your problems, minimizing some of the isolation, or because suicide is an attempt to solve a problem, perhaps your solution is in someone else's hands, and communication really is the bridge into some more internal feelings and thoughts.
Is there something I can do differently? Certainly. I think I can be there for my friends, listen more, without belittling their struggles, just because I could have handled it differently. And I think that's something that we can all do. Just because you can handle a struggle differently doesn't mean everyone else is able to do that.
I am a friend to people who've lost friends by suicide. Those people including a few of my friends, my parents, and a sibling. One thing I can say about being friends to people who've lost lost people by suicide is their need for support. I think one thing about grievers is they constantly need to be supported and to be heard. It is so important to hear them talk about their friend, the love they have for their friend, and not just how much they miss their friend. I think it's also important for them to be understood. I think suicide leaves a mark on someone. It's a very haunting mark, and seeing as it's unforgettable, I think it's important for the people who've lost people by suicide to be supported and to be heard, and also for them to be reminded that the person is never forgotten. So even talking about like the person who died is very important, because trust me, they never forget that the person is dead. They always remember. So you talking about them sometimes helps them know that their person isn't forgotten. You know, you talking about their stories, how much you miss them, or maybe it was like something they did that was very instrumental for you or memorable. I think that's important. On top of that, as a person who's also suffered from affective illnesses, I'm very passionate about mental health and caring for people who are not only unwell, but especially people who are suicidal, giving them support, encouraging them. The truth is, and as research shows, is suicidal feelings are not only because of lack of hope. Research also shows that once a suicidal ideation occurs, is likely to recur. So it's important for people who are suicidal to get lots of support from the people around them and for them to be heard. I'll read about what suicidal feelings feel like. It's a brief. Suicidal feelings are not the same as giving up on life. Suicidal feelings often express a powerful and overwhelming need for a different life. Suicidal feelings can mean, in a desperate and unyielding way, a demand for something new. Listen to someone who is suicidal and you often hear a need for change, so important, so indispensable, that they would rather die than go on living without the change. And when the person feels powerless to make the change happen, they become suicidal. I think being suicidal is more like a rainy period. When it rains, it pours, and it can be very rainy, very sad. But when the sun comes out, I hope that people who are suicidal do bask in the sun and the beautiful moments, because there's lots of beauty in life. And definitely, I hope they know that the world is a better place because they're in it. If you're ever suicidal, that's my message to you. Alongside the words by an artist, Cleo Soul, in her song, know that you are loved. You are truly loved, and I appreciate every day you stay here. I hope to see you again and again, and I hope you don't give in to your suicidal feelings and ideation.
Don't do it.
Oh, don't do it! Don't do it!
Everyone is fighting a hard battle. When you're given a chance to be right or kind, choose kind.